What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and my first Outriders build video. So I wanted to showcase the Trickster build that I've been using since the start of the game. It's been doing pretty good so far. I still haven't made it to the end, but level 30, I think my highest world tier is 13 at the moment. So I just wanted to show this off because it's doing really good. So this build is a get in close and do a lot of damage and then get out. It's a kind of hit and run tactic. Now this build is awesome because it does quite a bit of damage and you're also pretty tanky because some of the class mods. So I wanted to go ahead and take you guys through this and show you what's going on. Let's go ahead and jump into the skills first. So here in the skills menu, we're going to start with borrowed time. So you're going to mark a spot and then you're able to teleport back to that spot, and it's also going to give us some shield, which is huge. A lot of stuff in this build is going to revolve around having shield, so you always want to have shield as much as possible. Plus, we're going in to combat quite a bit, so you want to make sure we have shield, make us a little bit more tanky. This build is very good. And some mods are going to make it better. You can make it give you damage, but we're using it to make us super tanky. Skill number 2 is going to be Slow Trap. Now this skill has a ton of versatility. This is kind of your oh shit skill. Whenever you're surrounded, you're getting under heavy fire, you're about to die. I usually pop this and it lets you heal up. It's also great in co-op because you can revive teammates. So if you think of it as a bubble shield, whenever a teammate goes down, I'm going to run over to them, pop this down. It's basically going to make sure I'm not getting pelted with bullets. And any melee guys that are trying to rush us, it's going to slow them and give me plenty of time to pick my teammate back up. So that's huge. The other thing is this, you want to use this before you teleport away using borrowed time. And I will show you why a bit later, but we want to keep borrowed time down as much as possible, as long as possible. So borrowed time is the last resort. This is going to be your first resort for, oh shit, I'm about to die. And then it moves us to our third skill, Hunt the Prey. Now this is key. This is, in my opinion, one of the best abilities for the Trickster, at least for this playstyle. And it's going to do a couple things for us. It gives us mobility, it lets us get around the battlefield super quick, and it's going to give us shield as well. Another key thing it's going to do is it's going to get us behind the enemy, and you'll see why that's really important here in just a moment. So there you have it. These are our 3 skills. Very mobile, hit and run rogue. So let's go ahead and jump into the class skill tree and I'll show you what we got going on. So we'll go ahead and start this off. Like most Trickster builds I've seen at the moment, we are going the top tree. We're stacking firepower, damage, all of the above. So first off, go ahead and get close range damage, 15%, huge. Next, so you've got a choice here. You can go armor piercing 10 or reload speed. We're in the thick of it, and we're not using the anomaly rounds or whatever it's called. So we will be reloading a lot, and currently I'm using a light machine gun. Or sorry, not a light machine gun. I'm using a double gun. So the reload's a little bit slower on that. So I like to pick up the reload. Next, go ahead and get your 8% weapon damage. Now, if I'm using a shotgun, I will pick this up. It's extra 15% damage, which is awesome. And this build works amazingly well with shotguns. I normally do run a shotgun, however, I'm an idiot and I broke mine down. So I'm currently without a shotgun. So when I get a shotgun, I will probably move up into this. Because you pair that with the thing here at the end for shotguns, so you're getting 15, another 12, you're sitting pretty at a pretty nice damage boost. But continuing on here, we're gonna go ahead and go down. Since this tree is all about movement, or I'm sorry, this build is all about movement, getting in and out quick, doing a lot of damage, we're gonna pick up all the movement nodes here. So we're gonna go ahead and get activating movement skills, increases armor piercing by 25%. Super awesome. And then you're going to go ahead and grab the decreased cooldown for your movement skills. We want to be able to use those as often as possible. Next, we'll go ahead and get close range damage, another 15%. We're going to head down the tree again. So activating a movement skill increases our weapon damage by 50%. and that's huge. So for a second, if we go back to our skill tree, we're going to see borrowed time is currently at 11.5 second cooldown. Hunt the Prey is at a 9.2 second cooldown. And those are going to go a lot lower once we're finished specking out our tree here. This has an 8 second. This lasts for 8 seconds, so pretty much this is going to be active constantly during combat. And we'll go back and I'll show you. So it's going to be crazy. After that, so you could get Singularity, and that's going to make our bubble cool down faster. Now, I've found that whenever I need it, it's ready and active, so I am skipping out on that one. I'm going to take the Armor Piercing, and that's pretty big for elites, because a lot of them have hella armor, and we want to be able to bust through that. Next, now this is a key skill for in the tree here for our build. So attacking from behind, we get 20% more damage, and that's huge because we're using Hunt the Prey, which one gets us behind, and upon activating gives us 50% more damage. So that's huge. Now, you could go up if you're using damage skills, but this build doesn't use any of them, and we don't need them, so we're skipping that. Next, you could go for the weapon damage of 8%. I, however, want to keep stacking the 15 at close range, and we just stay close. We want to get in close. Again, 8% damage. We're going to go ahead and head up, and we're going to grab the decrease cooldown for your movement skills, get them even lower. And then we're going to go ahead and get another unforeseen end. So now we're sitting at 40% extra damage from behind enemies, plus the 50 when we teleport behind them, for a nice 90% damage boost for nothing. We're going to go ahead and grab this node for increased damage against elites. So that's 15% free damage. And we'll go ahead and finish up the tree so you get your magazine capacity up. Now, if you're using shotguns, go with this. For sure, top tier. But like I said, I'm not using a shotgun at the moment because I'm dumb. We're going to go ahead and get the assault damage, go and give us a little extra damage boost. And cold calculation at the cap here is also huge since we're teleporting into the thick of it usually. We like to jump into the back line and do a lot of damage, especially co-op. Like I'm going to leave my guys, my teammates at the front, and I'm going to dive into that back line and I'm going to start clearing out snipers, anybody launching AoE rockets. It's kind of our job to clear those guys out with our high mobility. So there's usually 3, 4, 5 dudes back there. In co-op, there's even more, so this skill is huge. Now, that's going to leave us with 2 extra skill points, and we can do a couple things with those. And I've experimented. So you could go down and pick up the health, and then you can go down and pick up shield degradation reduction, or you can pick up like the 15% resistance. Just make you a little bit tankier, not a bad option. If you're using weakness, you can also go to make weakness last 30% longer. Weakness is super easy to apply as the Trickster, but I think armor piercing is going to be really good because that's going to give us 30 right out the gate, and then anytime we use a movement skill, it's going to give us another 25. So let's go ahead and jump into our gear here, and I will show you what kind of mods we're rocking. We're going to go ahead and start with the helmet. So first tier 1 mod is going to be for borrowed time, and the entire time this skill is active, we're going to be getting an armor bonus and a 30% resistance bonus. So that alone is going to make us pretty tanky anytime this is down. So that's why we're going to want this down as much as possible, as long as possible, and we don't want to teleport out unless we absolutely have to. It's going to be our last resort teleporting out. The next mod on here is going to be the tier 2 stand tall. And it's receive X amount of anomaly power and X amount of firepower when you're out of cover for more than 5 seconds. So this is a run and gun, teleport in, teleport out, get up close, do a lot of damage. Like we don't take cover. This build, you don't really want to be taking cover. I almost never hit the cover button, and so this is just a constant damage boost. As long as you never touch cover, you don't hit your cover button and hide behind cover, you've got this active. We'll go ahead and jump into the chest piece here. So the first mod is tier 2 damage absorber. So this, in my opinion, is pretty essential. It's going to increase your armor by X amount and resistance by an extra 10%. That's huge. So if we look at my armor here, I've got 34,000. Now if we put on a different piece that does not have that, we're only at 17,800. So a little less than double armor, which is huge. And again, that's going to help make us tanky while we're in there fucking shit up. Next one is tier 2 bullet recycling. Now, this is pretty huge because shotguns have a low ammo reserve as is, tend to have a little bit slower reload, and you just blow through ammo super quick. So this is going to allow us, when we reload and our shield is active, it's going to disable ammo consumption for 5 seconds. And it's on a 1-second cooldown. So again, you can, if you play your cards right, essentially have infinite ammo. Next, we're going to go ahead and jump into the pants here. So tier 2 rejuvenation, so X amount of firepower, X amount of anomaly power, and X amount of armor bonus for 8 seconds whenever your health is replenished. It's on a 10-second cooldown. This is amazing because it's going to work with any kind of health regen. Weapon leech, it's going to activate this. If you are up close and personal like we are and you're getting your regular healing from killing enemies, it's going to activate that. If you've got Technomancer in your team and he's healing you up, it's going to activate that. It's on a 10-second cooldown, lasts for 8 seconds, so that ability is up most of the time. Number 2 is Move Groove, and that's moving, increases your anomaly power and firepower by X amount. And that's also huge because, again, we're not really taking cover, we're constantly on the move, running around, so that's just a free damage boost to us. Now, normally anomaly power is not super important to us. However, if we take a look at my weapon here, we have Anomaly Enhancement. It's the second mod, tier 2 there. Receive a passive firepower boost equal to 30% of your anomaly power. The higher we get our anomaly power, we're just getting free damage. If you do the math on 19.9 anomaly power, we're sitting at about like 5-6k, something like that, extra damage or firepower. So now we move into the gloves, and here is a really good skill. So we're looking at Borrowed Time, which is going to increase the skill's duration by 100%. So that's going to let us keep that down a lot longer and let us stay tankier a lot longer. And that is huge. If we go back to the skills for a second, you can see this lasts for 56 seconds now. We have almost an entire minute of just being super tanky. And that you can do a lot of shit in in 60 seconds. Okay, so now there are some other skills you can go with here. There's actually a mod for Borrowed Time that's going to give you 100% armor bonus for 10 seconds upon activation. The reason I don't go with that is because this one up here is going to give us a flat bonus and 30% resistance the entire time the skill is active, which I think is much better. We're basically doubling it anyways. Currently, it's almost giving me 35,000 armor. So we're looking at a solid doubling of armor the entire time. You can also mod it out to give you more firepower while this is active. And you can combine both of these and just do more damage and be tankier the entire time this is active, which I'm going to work on getting into my build. On my gloves here, I'm looking for new gloves and new boots. So I'm going to make these all tier 1 and just modify my skills. This skill, the Dum Dum Bullets, is a throwaway. Like, you can put whatever you want here. But this has increased assault weapon damage, which I'm using at the moment, so it's just extra free 10% damage. Why not? Now, the boots are awesome. Again, the sidearm specialist is a throwaway skill, so eventually I'm going to make that a tier 1 into something else for my skills. Maybe cooldown or something, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the key here is Hunt the Prey, and it makes Hunt the Prey an interrupt skill, and it applies weakness. Now, the weakness part isn't as important. The interrupt is. Why is that important? Well, you'll notice I have no interrupt skills. And interrupt skills are super amazing while fighting elites. I'm sure you guys know, I don't have to explain that. But why is it important that we make Hunt the Prey our interrupt skill? Well, if you notice, it has a 6.4 second cooldown. Now, if we take a look at my other interrupt skills here, this is going to be 16.6. We've got 11.7, and we've got a 12.9. So this is going to be the quickest cooldown, and we can get it lower. I don't even have it modded for lower cooldown, so we can get this lower. So this is going to be our fastest spammable interrupt skill, so we can use it hella. So that is really good. Now you can probably get these quite low if we modded into them and all that, but I think base Hunt the Prey actually has the lowest cooldown of all of the Trickster skills. So I think that's going to make this one of the best skills in the game for that reason and because of that mod. Now Temporal Blade does have a mod where it allows you to use it twice. so it kind of helps with that. So you get 2 free interrupts. However, after those 2, you are back on this long cooldown. So that's the reason I don't like it as much. And like I said, so Sidearm Specialist is a throwaway. We're going to put something else there eventually. But that's kind of the build. I'm actually thinking there's another skill that goes with bullet recycling quite well. And it's while you reload. When reloading, when you have shield, it gives you more shield. So then we can kind of keep this entire thing active a lot longer. So it's a nice little loop there, which I might play with at some point. So I haven't been paying too much attention to passives on armor, but things we're looking for is cooldown reduction. That's huge. Not so much anomaly power. We're more worried about firepower and health. Help make us tankier. And then anything with close range damage is also going to be huge. Looking through, I think that's going to basically be the only things we're worried about. So these gloves are amazing. If I can get that anomaly power switched into firepower or something. But again, I mean, we have a nice balance here, which is going to help bump that up. So, all right, guys, and that is going to be it for the build. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with some gameplay here and let you kind of see how the build works and what it can do and kind of the general play style of it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.